Over the last several months, we have seen a transformation in Bitcoin. We have seen the noose around the crypto neck loosen. We have seen countries, government, companies, and funds all adopt it. A huge institutional push like we have never seen before. Many say that retail is not in the market yet, but I believe that the ETFs tell a completely different story. All that to say that through all of this turmoil in the markets, Bitcoin has held up extraordinarily well. Bitcoin has held the floor. So, that was fun. Look, so I look at this, what's going on with Bitcoin right now, and I can tell you that it has been just amazing to watch as Bitcoin has held up extraordinarily well through everything. When other cryptos have gone down significantly, when we've seen a push down in the altcoins, we've seen Bitcoin just become more and more dominant. Now, look, I like a lot of the altcoins, and I think they'll have their day, and their day may come very, very soon. But I've got to show you this of where we are right now with Bitcoin and what I think could happen next. And that is the biggest part of what we're all waiting for, I should say, what we're in this market for. So with that, remember, every single day in crypto is an adventure. And join me on my adventure by hitting the subscribe button now, like, share, do all those things. And we're going to get right into, I'm already into it, talking about Bitcoin holding the floor and what I think is next. Here is where we are with Bitcoin. It's been in this ascending channel since, about a month and a half. And we've seen it stair-step its way up. And really, look, right here. It held this, the 236 Fibonacci. And then, it was bouncing off the floor there, shot up. It right past 382 up to the 0.5. And we've been bouncing off the point. We bounced off the 0.5 for like 2 weeks. And then it shot up to the 0.786. So as you can see, there's a trend here. And the trend is your friend. Never fight the trend. And we've been holding this floor right here, if you can see that. We've been holding that floor very strong for, for 8 or 9 days now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. We've been holding that floor. And against some turmoil in the markets, when we've seen other cryptos bounce up, bounce lower, come up, and things like that, Bitcoin is really holding true to this floor, which means the next move could be very, very interesting. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go up 100%, and I'm not saying that this is financial advice. Please don't take this as financial advice. This is my opinion and what I'm looking at along this journey and how I decide what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. And I saw crypto the last couple of days, the altcoins went back down. But let's look at this. We talked about company adoption. Company adoption. There's 201 entities holding Bitcoin. I mean, that's a staggering amount. Remember, we have MicroStrategy, Mara, 21, Riot, Galaxy Digital, CleanSpark, Tesla, and it goes on and on. Companies hold it as a strategy, like strategy. Some companies hold it as a reserve, like Tesla does. And some are just holding it in their portfolios as instead of maybe owning a different asset like real estate, they might own Bitcoin. But the point is that 201 entities, and more than half of those are public, 107 of them are public companies, which means there's SEC scrutiny, that they have enough faith in the Bitcoin that they're holding it in their treasuries. Now, let's look at individuals. We have, Satoshi is obviously the biggest holder. Satoshi Nakamoto, 101.1 billion. The Winklevoss twins, and was it 2015? They took a $65 million settlement in Bitcoin, and that is now worth probably about $7 billion. Tim Draper, 30,000 Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, 17,000. Shangpeng Zhao from CZ from Binance. Sorry, brain fart. Brain fart. Holds a shizzle ton of it. We don't know exactly how many. But look, the ETFs. Now, this is a big one. The ETFs have, out of the last 20 days, 17 days have had positive inflows. You talk about holding the floor. What do you think is a major component of holding this floor right here? And it's got to be the ETFs. The bit flows yesterday alone, were about $260 million, or that was 2 days ago, $260 million. Just that's one day. So you have a net flow in these 20 days. Gosh, it's significant. And that's Ethereum and Bitcoin. And countries, we haven't even gotten into the countries yet. 9 countries are stockpiling Bitcoin, whether that is a means or not. But United States has 207,000 Bitcoin yet to be audited. We'll see. China, 194. We're barely beating China. 61,000 UK, Ukraine, 46,000 Bitcoin. I wonder where they got a lot of those. Bhutan, 13,000. El Salvador, 6,000. Finland, 1,000. Georgia, 66. Good for you, Georgia. That's got to start somewhere. That's more than I have. And so if you look, the ETFs still hold 6.5% of the Bitcoin. We've heard a lot of talk about retail investors. That's you and me. That's everybody that's not an institution, a country. Those are individuals that invest in things like, might be equities, might be gold, but those who chose to keep Bitcoin. And they're saying that there's not a lot of retail involvement. I don't agree. I do not agree. I think that the ETFs is the people getting involved in these things. Now, I know individuals, older individuals, boomers, that never would have bought Bitcoin, never, don't understand it, but they've bought the ETF, and they say because it's SEC regulated, it's easy for them to do. They can do it through their accounts where they already have their money, and it makes it very simple. Now, think about this. Think about the stablecoin bill that's about to be pushed through this coming week in the United States. And think about all the FDIC has already cleared the road. The SEC has cleared the road for banks to get involved in crypto. And if that's the case, if you think about where the money is in the older generations, yes, some young people have money, but for the most part, the accumulators are the older people. They've saved, they've lived longer, they've saved longer, they have more money, and they're uncomfortable, with blockchain, typing in codes, holding keys, and all these things. They're more comfortable calling up their broker or their, where they hold their money and saying, hey, get me some of this Bitcoin. They buy an ETF and then they hold the Bitcoin that way through the exchange or through the Goldman Sachs or the BlackRock or whatever is doing it, IBIT. And think about that. Now, when this stablecoin bill passes and you have a wallet that's easy to use, think about the explosion of money that's going to happen into the crypto space, whether they like it or not. Forget about Coinbase going on the S&P 500 and having to be part of people's portfolios. Think about when everybody with any bank accounts will have easy access to crypto. If you're bullish now, think about what I just said, and you're probably going to be a lot more bullish then. And so I'm looking at this going, you can try to shake me out, but there's no way I'm selling my Bitcoin and my crypto, my XRP, my Solana, my SWI, all these things. There's no way I'm even thinking about selling that now. Are we in store for an extended super cycle? That is what I'm thinking. Now, I could be wrong. Cycles are cycles until they're broken, and cycles get broken all the time. All the time. What was it? The Red Sox didn't win a World Series until 2001? I don't know. There's a curse, and then they finally broke that cycle. Well, maybe I have that wrong. You all can yell at me. Maybe it was the Yankees. I don't know baseball well. Probably shouldn't involve that. But what I'm telling you is that what's coming next, no one is ready for. No one is ready for. Maybe Michael Saylor, because he always says, if you knew what I knew, you would be more bullish than anyone, or something like that. But anyway, with that being said, think about what I was just talking about. Bitcoin holding the floor. Retail is here, but it's about to explode into here with the if the stablecoin bill gets passed, and with people being able to buy it right through their banks and all these things. There's a lot of bullish things happening. 201 companies, 9 countries, 106 million individuals. 106 million individuals. I didn't even talk about that. But they said somewhere in one of these it had 106 million individuals. Well, there's about 8 billion people on the planet. 106 is just a small fraction of, 8,000. 106 divided by 8,000. So we're talking about 1 in 80. Did I get that math right? Yeah, 1 in 80 people own Bitcoin. Did I get that math right? 106, 8,000. Let's get rid of 1, 10. 1 in 80. 1 in 80 people own Bitcoin right now. What if that was 1 in 40? Boom, crazy, game over. That's all I got. Hope you got some value, even though I stuttered on some facts here. If you did and you made it this far, do me one single solitary favor. Hit the like button now. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Have a great Saturday.